What's going on, people? I am Swaver, and this is the Opinionated Facts Media Group podcast. I'm joined by my amazing team, Journey to be Great, Coco Love, and Illuminated Lenses. How are you guys doing today?
Doing good.
Good.
Doing pretty
How are
good.
you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm ready to talk about today's topics, and those topics being the flying felon and when protected women goes wrong. We think you guys are going to like these topics today as we talk about them. We're going to give some facts and a little bit of entertainment. So you guys just sit back and enjoy. But on this podcast, our mission is to build better relationships within our community through using the power of conversation. And so I guess I'll go ahead and start it off. I just want to ask my team, have y'all seen that video of, I think his name is Deborah Redden. I think he was a defendant, right? And judge, and it was Kathy Holthus, if I'm saying this correctly. Did y'all see the video of when Deborah jumps over the little, what's that called?
The podium.
Yeah.
Yeah, he jumps over the podium and attacks Kathy Holthus. Did y'all see that?
Yeah,
Yep.
definitely
I
saw
I
that.
seen playing leapfrog.
What would y'all have done if you guys were the judge? What were y'all thinking when y'all was watching that video?
I would have used my gavel
Right.
Hey man, hey,
all
look,
across his
I
forehead.
don't know if you had enough time. I'm gonna be
Absolutely.
real with you. He cleared. I haven't seen folks in the Olympics clear a hurdle like he cleared that damn
Man,
thing.
what's crazy about it is, where's the bailiff? Like he was in there in the end.
Fired. He's
Ain't worth
fired.
ain't worth a damn.
He's fired like hell. Him and all the other men in there. That man that was sitting next to her, I don't know who he was. He saw the man. And they both just watched him run up there and get a good running start. So everybody is fired.
I don't know a whole lot about the story, but from my understanding, the young man has some type of mental condition. Is that correct? Do y'all know about that?
Yeah, it says that I think his lawyer was arguing at the time actually that he should be let out on probation because he has completed probation programs before and also mentioned his mental health issues. I believe it was said schizophrenia and bipolar disorder.
Well,
Okay.
the bipolar definitely kicked in.
They,
Uh, Actually, the schizophrenia kicked in too because one of the boys just told him to jump. So
Oh my God.
yeah, he
I'm
damn sure
just
did
saying.
that. But so I'm gonna give y'all some information that I was looking up. I just looked up a couple of articles just trying to understand like how often does this happen. So this is coming from the AmericanBar.org, and I just typed in how often are judges targeted. So according to the U.S. Marshal Service, threats against federal judges, prosecutors, and court officials rose from 926 in 2015 to 4,511 in 2021. That's an increase of over 390%. So that's one article that I was reading about. And so it's kind of consistent with this next article. This is coming from desert.com. And it was talking about how many attacks are there on judges. So in 2021, there were more than 4,500 threats and other potentially dangerous interactions towards judges. According to the U.S. Marshal Service, which protects federal judges among other duties, since 1979, 4 federal judges have been murdered. So again, you guys can go and check out those articles. I'll tell you where I got them from, but that is really interesting. You don't think when you become a judge that you'll get killed, attacked either, but that's a pretty interesting thing. So if you are a judge or thinking about becoming a judge, that is something to think about. And if you have family and friends, just always be praying for them, man, because these people are crazy. So the next topic we're going to talk about is when defending women goes wrong. So I'm gonna hand that off to Journey. So what you got for us?
So if you all recall the Will Smith slapping Chris Rock thing, when that happened, it was a lot trending about protecting Black women. I don't know if y'all know this, but there was actually a bill. Well, I haven't found anything that was actually enforced, but it was one introduced back in 2021, which is called Protect Black Women and Girls Act of 21. It says this bill is to establish an interagency task force to examine the conditions and experiences of Black women and girls in education, economic development, healthcare, labor and employment, housing, justice, and civil rights to promote community-based methods for mitigating and addressing harm and ensuring accountability and to study societal effects on Black women and girls for other purposes. So I haven't seen anything about this was enforced, but this was, like I said, introduced in 2021, and you can go to congress.gov for the information. This reminded me, of course, everybody been talking about the Cat Williams interview. It's been trending. It was so much in there, but there was a portion when he addressed the conflict he had with Wanda Smith, which is another comedian I think she got fired.
She got really roasted on that video that he was talking about her.
Yes, yes. So he went in, and of course, she couldn't handle, you can easily tell she was pissed off, but comedians, that's what they do. But he also talked about later on that night at a club that I think she was hosting, her husband and son pulled up on him, pulled out a gun. And, of course, that could have led to something completely different. And I also found this article. Looks like this happened back in 2022, where there was a mother at a McDonald's. Apparently, there was an issue with cold fries. So she called her 20-year-old son up there to confront the worker. And before you know it, the worker got shot and killed. And now her son and herself end up getting locked up.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Now, McDonald's fries look good. I mean, they're good when they're hot. I mean, but still.
Yeah, they really ain't good when they're cold. But yeah.
It kind of here nor there. That ain't worth that though.
Right. The point being, you shouldn't do it regardless, right?
Absolutely. It brings me to a story that happened in our home state of Alabama, where a young man allegedly shoots and kills another young man for cheating on, I believe, to be his friend. We don't know if that was his friend, if that was his family member or whatever, but supposedly the story goes that there was a young lady that was seeing a young man, and that young man was cheating. He was out at a restaurant in a heavily populated area. And I guess the young lady found him, pulled up on him, had an altercation with the young man in the restaurant. Some kind of way she left the restaurant, because some people say it was a fight inside the restaurant, but we don't really know yet. But they were, I guess, arguing and had some words with each other. So she goes out to her car, and I don't know whether the young man was already in there or if she called him and he came. But whatever happened, some kind of way, one of her friends, family member, whoever he was, he came to the restaurant or was at the restaurant, got out with the gun and shot, I guess at the time, the young lady's boyfriend. So that was what recently happened here in our hometown. It's just really tragic. A life lost, and we also got some people going to jail. So it's definitely not worth it in the sense of what we decide to do when it comes to protecting women. Is that really even protecting from y'all perspective?
Regardless if that was a case of cheating on that end or whatever happened with the other one, it's something that is just not needed. There are different ways to protect than having to pull a gun out on someone. The only time you pull a gun out is when there's like an immediate threat. You know what I mean? So that's not really protecting. That's just being a hothead.
Okay, I can see that. Yeah, just thinking through things before you make a decision.
Right. So that's the message that everybody needs to get. Learn to think before you act.
I'll agree with that 100%. To our listeners, we want to know, what would you guys have done if you guys were the judge? Do you think the guy was justified because he had some sort of mental condition going on? Let us know in the comments below. Also, do you guys have any stories where protecting women goes wrong? Let us know. We'd like to hear your responses in the comments below. Thank y'all so much for always supporting us. I am Swaver, joined by Journey to Be Great, Coco Love, Illuminated Lenses, and this is the Opinion Facts Media Podcast. Until next time, peace.